It's time to talk about cards that Wizards just isn't bringing back. So what card would you like to see reprinted that's not on the reserve list? What card would you like to have come back to the game? Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. I hope you enjoyed the content today. And if you did enjoy it, please remember to hit that subscribe button as we are closing down and getting closer to 7,500 subscribers and our pizza party live stream. I'm looking forward to sharing that with all you. We're going to have a good time. And then, of course, on to 10K subscribers, and that's a whole different sort of party. The rules will come out at 9K. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there. Have you guys noticed that Wizards just doesn't seem to reprint certain cards now? If you've been in the game for a while, you're probably noticing this more and more as the years go by, that some cards just don't seem to show up again. There's certain cards we expect to come back, certain commander cards, certain play format cards. Sometimes they surprise us with a card inside the list or something. But with the tens of thousands of cards they've created, you would think some of these cards would show up more often, and they just don't. Here are some cards that I don't think Wizards will ever reprint. Let's take a look at these bad boys. Let's start off here with number 1. So here is Reset from Legends. It's $65 Canadian for a near mint copy. The average is $47.76. The market has it at $47.30 US, and it's €35.72 to get that card. All right. Now you can see by the pricing there, it's kind of bounced around. It's kind of slowly been stepping up over the last few years, but it's only been printed in Legends. It got printed in 1994, and it has never seen the light of day again. All right, let's look at this card here. Okay, it is an interrupt, which basically nowadays means instant. It's 2 blue to cast it. All of your lands untap. Reset can only be played on an opponent's turn after his or her upkeep phase. Okay, so we have an amazing card. I get it. This card's amazing. Now, do a lot of people use it? I don't see it being played a lot. I guess you could really mess somebody up by putting this in a commander deck when somebody least expects it. Being able to play instants and untapping mana and having a huge pool of mana to work with the cards we have nowadays, pretty amazing. But why would Wizards not reprint this card? What do they have to gain, lose by printing a card like this? It makes me very curious. Are they going to build up to someday and just reprint all kinds of old cards in some kind of vintage set? Why wouldn't they print all this kind of stuff? Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at another card that's not even valuable. Okay, has no real pricing to it. Let's go ahead and take a look at this next card. All right. Sorry, I just smacked the mic again. I was so excited. We have Active Volcano from Legends. This thing was printed in Legends and Chronicles, and that's it. It's $1.50 Canadian for a near mint copy. The average is like $1 US. The market's $1 US. And it's €2.12 to get you that card. You can see it. It's never really jumped up, never really did anything. It's red that has 1 to cast. It's an instant. Destroy target blue permanent or return target island to its owner's hand. Enchantments on target land are destroyed. Well, let's think about that card. That card's sick. It's a 1 casting cost that blows up a blue creature. Yes, it's color specific, but it just blows it up, right? It can return islands to people's hands. You can go, oh, I'll lay a land on my turn. Pass the turn to you. That person lays out an island. At the end of their turn, even if they use it to cast Opt or Scry something, whatever they did with their 1 mana, you can still unsummon the island and put it back in their hand. On your turn, you're now ahead of them in land. Think about the concept of what that card can do. That's amazing. Oh, they enchant their land, blow it up, get unsummon that land, blow up their enchantment on it as well. It's a disgusting card. It's really powerful. I can see why they didn't reprint it. And they did it more than once. There's other versions of this, but it hasn't come out. The Chronicles is what, 94, 95? It hasn't come out for a long time, guys. It's 20-something years. They've never reprinted it. Do you think they ever will? I'm telling you, Wizards, I don't know, they got some stuff going on. Let's go ahead. Okay, this isn't bad enough. Let's go take a look at another card. All right. Cathedral of Sarah. You guys know I love this card. It's in my commander deck because it's Sarah, and I love angels. All right, $35 Canadian for a near mint copy. The average is $18.36 US. You can see there the market's $18. It's €15.68 to get that card, and the price has been falling. It's a Legends card that has only been printed in Legends. It has never come back. And don't forget, with cards like Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, or Yawgmoth, the Tomb of Yawgmoth, you could tap this thing for mana, which you can't do back then. But look what this card does. All your white Legends gain banned with other Legends. Banding. Let's get close here. Banding. Wizards doesn't like the banding mechanic. They're not bringing back any card with banding. At least I can't picture them ever doing it, because they said they don't like the mechanic. People found it too hard to use, too crazy in the mind to try to work out the fact that I get to decide where the damage goes if my creatures are banding. I don't know what was so hard about it. I had a banding deck as a kid, and I love that deck. But this allows Legends to band. Think about all the awesome Legends out there. And by the way, there's one for every color. I'm showing you the Cathedral of Sarah, but there's like the Guild House. There's all kinds of different ones from Legends. And they've never reprinted them. They've never come back. Because they don't like banding. It's nothing to do with that land. They don't like banding. They don't like the idea of that mechanic. So they don't do anything with it, and they say, goodbye. We don't like you. Go away. Think about all the cards that were early creations that have banding. When was the last time we saw a Benlish Hero, a Mesa Pegasus, some of the most iconic old cards in Magic that were just commons? Haven't seen them, have we? They're never bringing them back. So that means eventually these cards will gain in value because they've never been reprinted since. Crazy stuff. Let's check out this one. Let's take a look at this one. Here's another one for you. Flash Flood, again from Legends. Last printed in Chronicles. $1.50 Canadian, near mint. Average, less than $1. Market has it at around $1.14 US. And €1.69 to get that card. And look, this is the blue version of Active Volcano. The exact same thing, but in blue. And they've never reprinted it? It's never come back? This is highly suspicious. Have you noticed they haven't printed a regeneration creature since Mirrodin Besieged? They don't use the regeneration mechanic anymore. They try to find ways to give the creature indestructible instead. One-turn effects, or an effect that's always on, right? They don't like to use the regeneration mechanic. So that's why they don't bring in cool cards like Thrun the Last Troll and stuff. They don't do it anymore. We don't have regeneration cards coming out. Take a look around. There are so many cards that are basically pseudo-reserve list nowadays. We're not really talking about it, but as the game rolls along and as people collect these things, grabbing a near mint quality copy of a Third and the Last Troll for like $2, you might want to grab one. Could be really cheap. Now, check out this one. How about this amazing card? Mana Short. This is a 4th edition I'm showing you guys. It was last printed in 7th edition. So you're still talking, was that 2003? 2002? We're still talking, 20 years ago since Mana Short has been reprinted. $3 Canadian, near mint locally. It's $1.50 is the average in US price. The market's $1.45 US, and it's not even €1 to get you this card. But look what it does. Mana Short, right? Empties target player's mana pool and taps target player's land. So at the end of that opponent's turn, you can throw this down and make sure they can't counter your stuff. You can just empty their mana pool, or at least force them to use that to counter that Mana Short. It's an amazing card. It's an amazing card that we don't see. It hasn't come back. It hasn't been around. Look how much a beta is going for, or an alpha, collector edition. They're all pretty pricey, but revised ones, $1.50, $2. Very inexpensive cards to try to get your hands on. Now, these are just a couple of cards I'm putting up today, just to make people aware that if you look around, if you start thinking of a favorite card you liked from 10 years ago, and you say, hey, I want to check that card out. I want to see what's going on with this. Hey, it hasn't been reprinted, because they're not going to. When Wizards doesn't like certain mechanics, or they don't think they work well, they either reinvent the same mechanic with a new name, like they don't use Rampage anymore. They just say, for each creature blocking, target creature gets +1/+1. They don't say Rampage 2, right? Which they used to have back in the day with the Berserkers and stuff like that, the Craw Giant. They used to have cards back in the day that said Rampage, which meant if it had Rampage 2, any creature beyond the first creature blocking gave the defending creature or the attacking creature a +2/+2. It was crazy stuff, but they don't do that anymore. They reinvent the wheel as they modernize and simplify mechanics in the game, right? They don't like certain mechanics, so they just get rid of them. Ones they find clunky and rework, like Rampage, work out great. They're fine. But other cool ones, hey, how about a Circle of Protection? Have you noticed Circle of Protection's never been reprinted since, like, what is it, 7th or 8th edition? 8th edition, I think? They've never reprinted Circles because they slow the game down and they want to speed the game up. The game isn't based so much on strategy as it is synergy between cards now. That's why we like these bigger formats now, so you can get players working different synergies to make the game more complicated and have more of a little bit of a fun, right? I love in my commander deck that I still put one of every circle. Because the last thing somebody commander goes, what's that? And they see a circle coming. But we haven't seen circles reprinted in forever, and they're like 25-cent cards. They're not expensive. A revised circle is literally 25 cents locally, near mint, if you wanted to get one. Because nobody uses them. But there may come a day when people say, you know what? I'm going to build myself a circle deck. I'm going to go get all the alpha and beta circles, spend like $100 and get a full playset and have a blast. Because they're still cheap, because nobody realizes that some of these cards just aren't coming back. Because Wizards looks at it a different way. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys have certain cards you would like to see reprinted? Are there certain cards I may have missed? You say, hey man, this card hasn't been reprinted since forever. That's okay. Let me know. Put that in the comments section. I would love to know what cards you'd like to see reprinted and what are other cards you say, hey, that card hasn't been reprinted since forever. I'd love to know. Thanks a lot for tuning in today. I hope everyone had a good time learning about this like pseudo reserve list stuff because it's just not coming back. As much as I'd like banding to come back, they're just not going to do it. Have a great day today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the day. Bring a friend to Magic. It's the best way to spend your day. Hey guys, a big shout out to each and every one of my fantastic patrons on the channel. Thanks again everyone for that continued support. Love seeing you guys out there in the comments section, giving those thumbs up and having those conversations we need to have about this awesome game of Magic. Everyone have an awesome day. Well, here we are. Made it to the end. Chilling out. I'm going to give you this bad boy to put into the 10K box, and that is a Spark Hunter Masticore. I mean, it wasn't a bad card. It didn't see a lot of play at the time, but it's not a bad card. We'll slam that guy in there because he deserves to be in that 10K box. Feeling going to get my finger pinched in there. It's getting so tight. Love to see it. And we're getting that much closer to the 10K. It's awesome. Pizza Party, probably what, like a couple of weeks maybe? If the numbers keep steady like they are lately, this could be a cool time. I can't wait. So guys, I hope you're having an awesome day. Let me know how the weekend went. What'd you guys do? Did you chill out? Did you just have a good time? Did you play some Magic with some friends? A little spell table, which I'm going to try to work out. So maybe we can have some matches here sometimes on the live stream. Going to get that bad boy going. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Just rambling thoughts in my head. I hope you guys are chilling like a villain and just enjoying yourselves. I really got to see that Spider-Man movie too. And don't ruin it for me. I don't want to know. All right, guys. Have a great one. Yeah.